So in today's video, I'm going to be previewing Notts County versus Bradford City, and then the second part of today's video, I'm going to be bringing you guys my Game Week 18 League 2 score predictions. If you do go on to enjoy, please make sure to drop a like on there for me. If you could try and hit 80 likes on today's video, that'd be massively appreciated. Subscribe if you are new as well. We are on the road to 8,000 subscribers, so please make sure you are subscribed if you haven't already with that post notification bell on. It's free to do so, and it does massively help out. Get a comment in as well down in the comment section down below. Let me know down below your score prediction and what would your starting 11 be for this match. As I'm sure you can tell, I'm still very ill at this moment in time. That's why the video wasn't out yesterday. Obviously, I do like to get the match previews out on Thursday. I can only apologise for that, but we're live on Sky once again tomorrow, 12:30 kickoff against a very, very good side in Notts County. Their form recently hasn't been great. Our form recently has been absolutely awful though, so it's going to be a very, very tough game. If we get a point in this one, I think it would certainly be a positive one. But make sure to drop a like on there for me, subscribe if you're new as well, and let's get into it.
Channel memberships are now cheaper than ever, with tier 1 costing just 99p. Tier 2 has been reduced from $3.99 a month down to $1.99 a month, and tier 3 has been reduced from $8.99 a month down to just $4.99 a month. Your support, as always, is massively appreciated, and the more members that we have, the better the content will be. Enjoy the rest of the video.
If we start out then with the current Sky Bet League 2 table, on the Google League table, you now have to scroll down. You have to physically scroll down to see Bradford City down in 18th place. After 17 matches, we've only got the 5 wins, 5 draws and 7 defeats, scoring only 18 goals, which is just absolutely awful, and conceding 23, which leaves us on a -5 goal difference and 20 points. Our last couple of matches then have been a loss, a draw and a win. Them last couple of matches then been a 2-1 defeat at home to Barrow, a 2-1 defeat at home to Wickham in the FA Cup first round, a 3-0 win at home to Manchester City's under-21s in the Football League Trophy, a 2-1 defeat away at Sutton United, a 4-1 defeat away at MK Dons, a 1-1 draw at home to Wrexham, and a 1-0 win away at AFC Wimbledon. If we compare that then to Notts County, they currently sit 5th in the Sky Bet League 2 table. After 17 matches, they've got 9 wins, 3 draws and 5 defeats, scoring 33 goals, but also conceding at 29. That leaves them on a positive 4 goal difference and 30 points. The last couple of matches have been a loss, a win and a loss. Them last couple of matches then been a 1-0 defeat away at Crewe Alexandra, a 2-0 defeat away at Lincoln City in the Football League Trophy, a 3-2 win at home to Crawley Town in the first round of the FA Cup, a 2-0 defeat at home to Wrexham, a 3-0 win at home to Newport, a 2-1 win away at Gillingham, and a 4-1 defeat at home to Mansfield Town. I remember watching that game live on Sky. Mansfield absolutely ran them ragged that day, but Notts County obviously score a lot of goals. They're very good going forward. They've had a brilliant home record so far this season, but their defence, in my opinion, is there to be got at. I think they certainly can concede goals, but we just simply don't score enough. We've only scored 18 all season. Gillingham have scored 14. You've also got Harrogate on 16, with Forest Green also on 18, and they're in the relegation zone. So we have the joint 3rd lowest amount of goals scored in the league so far this season, averaging just over 1 per game. Simply not good enough. We currently find ourselves, we are 7 points off the playoffs, but obviously we've got a 10 worse goal difference than 7th place Morecambe, and we also currently find ourselves 7 points off the relegation zone, but with a 7 better goal difference than Forest Green Rovers. So the league is very tight at the moment. All you need really is a couple of defeats or a couple of wins to really change your league position. Fingers crossed we can go on a run starting out this weekend against Notts County, but now we're going to get into the team that I would go with if I was Graham Alexander. Now obviously there is going to need to be some changes for this match. A number of players picked up injury in the last game. Jonathan Tompkinson away on international duty, but I have once again gone with Graham Alexander's version of a 4-4-2, which is mainly 2 centre-backs, 2 very high full-backs with your wingers actually being inverted number 10s, 2 central midfielders and 2 strikers. But in goal, I've gone with Harry Lewis. I think he should certainly do better with Barrow's first goal last weekend. The second goal, I don't think he can really do anything about, but the first goal goes right under Harry Lewis, and there was a number of mistakes again leading up to that goal. I think they only had 2 shots on target all game. Lewis didn't really have much to do. What he did have to do, didn't really deal with it well, but he's obviously still the best goalkeeper at the football club, so he has to stay in this side. Into the back 4 then, at right back I've gone with Brad Halliday. I thought again very solid against Barrow at the weekend. Really impressed with what I saw from him. A number of times he actually worked really hard to stop the cross coming in. It's something I've spoke about a lot so far this season. There's too many players who don't work hard enough to stop crosses coming into the box, because we're really poor at defending crosses coming into the box, so we have to be better in that area. Halliday though, especially in that first half, had a really good game. Going forward, I think he could certainly have offered more. In my opinion, he needs to be getting on them overlaps a little bit more, but obviously still the best best right back in the entire division, in my opinion. Into the two centre-backs then. First, I've going with Matty Platt. I think he needs to come back in for Ash Taylor. I just feel a lot more confident in the back four when Platt is there rather than Taylor. Now, I think this would have been a perfect game to bring in someone like a Jonathan Tompkinson with his pace, but we cannot play a high line against Notts County or we'll get absolutely torn apart. We definitely can't play a high line with Taylor and Stubbs. We need some sort of pace in that back line, and while Platt isn't the quickest, he is still our quickest centre-half, and we certainly do need him in the side for this game. And partnering him, I have once again gone with Sam Stubbs. We've got a lot of mediocre centre-backs, but I certainly think Sam Stubbs is the diamond in the rough, you could say, out of all of our defenders. He might not have hit the heights that he hit last season so far this year, but I think it's nice to see him building consistently in that side, to be playing week in, week out. And I feel like once he gets a consistent partner next to him, whoever that may be, fingers crossed it is Matty Platt. In my opinion, he's the best of the other options, and I really think we could see the best once again from Sam Stubbs, so I like to see him keep his place in the side. In at left back then, I have gone with Lewis Richards. Now, I nearly went with Alex Gilead. Obviously, there's going to be no Liam Rideout for a few weeks with his concussion injury. Daniel Oyegoke can't really fill in there either, as he recently picked up some sort of a shoulder injury. Not really too sure specifically what that was, but it sounds like he might potentially need surgery, so that's obviously a big blow for him. Gilead filled in at left back at the weekend when both of them did get substituted off, and I don't think he did too bad. I thought Gilead had a really good game at left back, but I think if you got the option to play a natural left back in their natural position, you've got to do so. So Richards for me should come back into the side. I think he's personally been our best natural left back so far this season. Graham Alexander hinted that Kieran Kelly can also play there, but I think against a team like Notts County, I'd like to see Lewis Richards get the nod. Into the two central midfielders then. First, I'm going with Richie Smallwood. I thought it was a pretty solid performance again from him against Barrow. Lots of leadership and quality in that midfield, and I thought overall he ran the show really in there. I think he was number 13 for Barrow, was whinging and moaning at everything that Smallwood was doing, and towards the end of the game, Smallwood absolutely nailed him one. He laid one on him properly, and that's just what Smallwood brings. You're going to need someone with that experience and leadership in a game like this, so obviously you've got to start with your captain. And partnering him, I've gone with Alex Gilead. It's nice to see him shooting a lot more this season. Obviously, he's already got 2 goals to his name. Nearly has another one at the weekend as well. Now, I'm being impressed with Gilead so far this season. I've said it a few times now. Gilead, for me, is getting better and better as each game goes by. He can play in a number of positions as well. In the game just gone by, he played central midfield, then left back, then right back. He's so versatile, and he's so key to the way that we are trying to play at this moment in time, so he has to stay in the side. Into the 2 wingers then, who are more like number 10s, but on the right-hand side, I've gone with Adam Wilson. Now, I don't think Poynton was particularly bad against Barrow, but in my opinion, against a team like Notts County, you need your wingers to be direct and get at their defenders, because in my opinion, I think there is certainly players that we can exploit, and I think Wilson, he likes to get 1v1, he likes to take players on, get shots off, and I feel like this is a game that would suit him a little bit more than Bobby Poynton. And on the left side, I've gone with Harry Chapman. Again, similar to why I've gone with Wilson, he'll get the ball, he'll look to take players on, he'll get shots off, and I think Chapman does need to come back in for his first start of the season. Obviously, hasn't started a game since April with that hamstring injury. He's been back recently, building up his minutes in the league and all that sort of stuff, and in the cup matches, but I think if he can give you an hour, 65 minutes in this one, then you maybe look to change things. But whatever happens, Emmanuel Osidibe cannot start on the left wing in this game, in my opinion. And leading the line then, firstly, I have gone with Andy Cook. Now, I thought he was fairly anonymous against Barrow, didn't really do all too much, but again, didn't really have the service in the box. I think last season, the reason why he scored so many goals is because we got so many crosses into the box, and we didn't really have much other choice. But now we've got different options and different ways of playing. When Barrow were playing so deep and defensive, it was hard really for us to get good, accurate crosses into the box. They had to be absolutely pinpoint, and I think that's very hard to do for a League 2 player. But Cook, for me, he is still obviously our biggest goal threat. There's still no Verden Oliver. He's not even back in full consistent training. He's been back in and out, according to Graham Alexander. I thought he was just back in full training, but apparently not. So obviously, Cook needs to play. You're going to need someone to be big and physical, and I think in a game like this, their defence is similar in terms of physicality to a team like Newport. They're not very physical, so Cook could certainly use his size to his advantage. And partnering him, I've gone with Tyler Smith. Obviously, Notts County like to play at a very high line. They like to play it from the back, and I think Tyler Smith's press is going to be very key for us. If we can get a ball in behind, he's absolutely rapid, and I don't think any defender will really catch him. Obviously, he's got his first league goal at the weekend. Should have had another one as well just before that. He's got 5 goals in all competitions now, so we'd like to see him get the nod once more. more in this one. On the bench now for me, that I'd leave Colin Doyle, Ash Taylor, Kieran Kelly, Bobby Poynton, Jamie Walker, Rayhan Tulloch, and Chisholm Afoka. The players currently unavailable are Daniel Igoke through that dislocated shoulder. Jonathan Tompkinson is away on international duty. Liam Rideout's got the concussion. Kevin McDonald has got some sort of a hamstring injury at the moment, so he's not back for this weekend. And then obviously the two long-term absentees in Alex Patterson and Verden Oliver, which means the players who would miss out then through selection would be Harvey Rowe, Clark Adore, Emmanuel Sidibe, and Matt Derbyshire. Now then, let's get into my Game Week 18 League 2 score predictions. Starting out then with MK Dons versus AFC Wimbledon. This was meant to be a 12:30 game, but it has been postponed, I believe, due to international call-ups. Notts County versus Bradford City, I unfortunately think finishes in a 3-1 defeat. Accrington Stanley versus Wrexham AFC, I think finishes in a shock 1-0 home win for Accrington. Borough AFC versus Crawley Town, I think finishes in a 2-1 home win for the Bluebirds. Doncaster Rovers versus Walsall FC has been postponed. Forest Green Rovers versus Grimsby Town, I think finishes in a scrappy 1-0 home win for Forest Green. Gillingham FC versus Salford City, I think finishes in a 2-2 draw. Harrogate Town versus Swindon Town, I think finishes in a 2-1 home win for Harrogate. Mansfield Town versus Newport County, I think finishes in a 3-0 home win for the Stags. Morecambe FC versus Crewe Alexandra has been postponed due to international call-ups. Stockport County versus Colchester United, two of the informed teams in the division at the moment. I think Stockport have won like 13 games in a row. I'm going to back them once again for a 3-1 home win. And finally, Sutton United versus Tranmere Rovers, I think finishes in a 2-1 home win for Sutton. But I am going to leave it there for today's video. If you have enjoyed, please make sure to drop a like on there for me. If you could try and hit 80 likes, as I said at the start of today's video, that'd be massively appreciated. Subscribe if you are new as well. We are on the road to 8,000 subscribers, so please make sure you are subscribed. If you haven't already, with that post notification bell on, it's free to do so, and it does massively help out. Get a comment as well down in the comment section down below. Let me know down below your score prediction for this match, and what would your starting 11 be as well? Would you make any changes from last Saturday? Thank you all very much for watching and putting up with my illness at the moment. Fingers crossed it's gone for tomorrow's game, but have a great rest of your day, and I'll see you all tomorrow for the match day vlog. Peace.